ready for another lesson?
All right, let's get it going.
Let's get her done.
In 3,
2.
You want to take you can go for it, Ty.
Oh no, I was counting you in.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
And we're
to
in.
Back Row Banter. Yeah, we're in, man. We're in like Flynn. I don't even know what Flynn is. I've heard that before.
I think it's a movie. Pretty sure that's a movie,
Is
right?
it?
Flynn?
Gotta be.
It's from Tron.
Yes. Yep. That's everyone knows that is where that's from.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I am one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz. On today's episode, we got a big news week for you since it's been about a week and a half since we recorded. A lot of stuff has happened, so we'll get to all of that. Big trailer talk week. We got 3 new trailers for you, so that'll be exciting. New to streaming is very, very meh. Just what a dry ass week. Then we'll get to what we're watching and our main review for the episode. Godzilla versus Kong.
Woo!
Woo!
We either wooed or booed.
You're
You can't boo this movie, man.
Nah, impossible
It's
to boo.
everything you asked for.
All right, we're going in early with Blake's review.
But before we get to any of that, I'm joined today by the Cadaver Man. Still rolling with it. Nathaniel.
Yeah, so I got a text message today saying the Cadaver Man was a tough look. So I think I'm in search of a new nickname. It's from a source I trust. So I think we're going with a new nickname. But listeners, if you want a new nickname for me, send one in. Maybe put in a 5-star review.
We'd love that.
Little call forward there
you
for
go.
you.
Just leave us 5-star review on what do you think all of our nicknames should be.
Hey, there you go.
And we'll make that maybe we'll just make that a thing.
Yeah, you sponsor the nickname segment.
Yeah.
And you get to come up with your own.
Yeah.
As long as we get more 5-star reviews.
Yeah, there you go.
Also joining us, the future face of Twitch, Tyler Vidalis.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man.
I get a lot of good feedback from this name, so
Yeah, you keep that one. I could be the future second face. I'm not mad at that. Because it's still 2 guys, 1 stream. Have we done that joke like 3 times in a row? We're going to keep doing it, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to get its own stinger here if I'm not careful.
100%.
And
yeah, man, I'm good. We're all good. I'm good. Yep.
You went a beat too long. It was that one moment where it was just a little too far of a gap, and so Tyler jumped in and you jumped in at the same time. But it's okay because we acknowledged it now.
The Discord delay just is not helping.
It's fine. It's fine. We've acknowledged it now. The audience is going to forgive us. We're cool. Who's next?
Yeah, as long as you not acknowledge it. We're also joined today. Well, we're gonna stick with Big Bird Blake.
Big Bird Blake.
He's still Big Bird Blake.
All right, fair enough.
Let's do it.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. How was your trip to Boston? We were talking about a little bit. Before the pod.
Yeah, man. I was kind of filling in Nathaniel and Ty about that. It was dope, man. First time on the East Coast. Weather was pretty gloomy out there. I don't know if that's just the time of year or just maybe the week we were there, but it was about like 45, 50, kind of overcasty every day. But it was cool though. I mean, I got to see 2 friends who I haven't seen in an incredibly long time since we've all finished college. So that was cool. Got some food, ate a ton of seafood.
Hey.
Had a lobster roll that's like a super Boston dish. It's basically like sandwich. And yeah, dude, that thing was a fucking hit, dude. So I went back and got it my last day there too. I was like, I gotta get another.
I think
one
that's
of
the
these.
most passion I've ever heard Blake give
That was
about
good,
something.
man. And I'm a super picky eater too. So
That's
like
true,
I'm
you
not even
are.
big on seafood. So I was like, you know what, but I at least owe it to myself to at least try this stuff while I'm here, right? So I ended up trying that. I had some swordfish for the first time.
Wow.
I actually enjoyed that. So yeah, man, it was cool, man. It was everything I asked for, man.
Man, I love seafood, but Tyler and I no longer like seafood after this week. Which
You'll
will come up
learn.
in
You'll
what we're
learn.
watching. Yeah.
Oh man.
But
Okay.
But yeah, I can get behind
Little
some seafood,
foreshadowing.
man. I love seafood.
You gonna learn today.
Yeah, it was dope, man. But how about you, Adam? How was your trip?
Yeah, I went down to Florida, Panama City Beach. It was a good time, man.
What?
Weather was good. I went to the beach 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. I really liked it. That was my first time to Florida. So it was wild seeing palm trees in person.
It's a bit of a different experience, Florida, isn't
it? It is. Oh, it is. But I'm glad I got to experience it. It was a lot of fun. Had a bunch of friends down there because basically I don't know the exact number, but it felt like all of Mizzou was down there. Like,
sure. Right.
We would go out and like bars were 18 plus, so I was going out with my friends, and they would do our MIZZOU chant, and basically the entire bar is doing it because everybody from Mizzou was down there. So.
Well, let's be honest.
Overall, really
if you're drunk in a bar and someone starts chanting, you'll chant anything too.
That's true. Not that I would know. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that as an older man. Yeah,
movies.
Yeah. But no, overall, definitely a great time. The ocean's wild, man. I've been in the ocean. I haven't been in a long time. But the ocean at night, scary. It's just
after watching Jaws,
and I'm like, wow, it feels like the edge of the world.
Yeah, dude. It's speaking of that, it's crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever been on a cruise.
Oh yeah,
but like being on that cruise ship, and then like when you look out like in the middle of the night, it's like just
and there's nothing.
It's pitch black.
Yeah, it's one of the darkest. I don't even know, the darkest blacks you can ever see. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing, dude.
That's kind of what it felt like looking out over the beach at night.
Bro, I remember one time we went into have you guys ever been to like Carlsbad Caverns or like big caves or anything like that?
No.
But
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so like I went there one time over like one summer one time, and Blake just jogged my memory with saying like the darkest it's ever been. But they like took you on like a tour and whatever, and everything's like pre-lit, but then they go off on like the tours and there's other areas, and they were saying like here's what like this is like when there's no light, and then they turned off the lights obviously, and it's utter complete darkness because there's just zero light around, and it's so spooky. And then they just like they turn on one candle, which is what the guys that first discovered the caves are like, and it's both crazy how much light one candle gives off, but also terrifying because it's just you're in the descent at that point, like you're just there, man. But yeah, that was that feeling of complete darkness, that's a scary moment for people, I think, especially like us that have always grown up around cities or that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of spelunking or anything in the dark like that. I'm a city-born kid, man.
True.
I'm sure it's a little different for you though, for being from Arizona.
Yeah, I guess just more. You're more closer to the wilderness.
I like doing that kind of stuff. I like being outside, going to nature and stuff. It's not something I'm entirely used to.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. I grew up in a cornfield.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're pretty close. Right there. Your town's literally called Woodstock, or it has wood in the name.
Yeah, it's called Woodstock. Yeah, and then the town over is called Crystal Lake.
Yeah, you're just living in a horror movie. There's probably an Elm Street on one of those towns too. Gotta be right.
There's definitely one in Woodstock. I would probably guess that there's probably one in Crystal Lake.
I think that's that's one of the most common street names. We're on a tangent early, folks.
Yeah, it's okay though.
I'm all about wilderness, man.
Without speaking to each other.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of built up energy here.
It's been a while. It felt like so long.
It has.
Not for the listeners, but for us.
Yeah, for them. Right. You don't know what it's like
to be a sad man.
Yeah, dude, I grew up in the woods. I love it.
We do have a pretty packed episode.
Yeah, let's get to the news.
Factoid.
Is this new news?
Relatively new news.
Relatively new news.
Last week and a half. I covered everything since the last time we recorded, so it's not just the last week. I covered the little gap as well.
Which I think there was some pretty big stories that broke, right?
Hopefully we're on the same page as to what big stories are, but there were some.
Oh, I was just leading you in there. I was just blindly going for it.
Something I got really scared.
No.
And I was like, uh-oh.
No, I was setting you up, man. I was trying to tee you up there.
Sure, I appreciate it. I'll learn.
It's all right. We'll get it down.
Yeah. Our first news story for the day: Black Widow to hit Disney Plus Premier Access in theaters simultaneously, which is a change up from their previous plan, which was to strictly stick to a theatrical release, which is what Disney kind of said they were doing.
Sure.
A few months ago.
Raya made too much money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the $30 price tag, man, that's a lot of profit. Because
per
getting
household
subscription, and per household you're getting the monthly subscription, and then people are paying an additional $30.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I'm sure they're making a good amount of money off this stuff.
Well, and then I think repeat viewings too. Because I know like our boss who has kids, Disney age, they've said that they've watched it like 15 times already and stuff. So it's just one of those things,
Like Raya, you mean?
Yeah, Raya. Sorry, and I'm sure Black Widow will be the same way for people.
Sure, yeah. Well, Black Widow, I mean that was supposed to come out at the beginning of the pandemic, and I think it was April.
God, yeah, it was April last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was April or May last year, and it still has just not been released, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I get kind of concerned for those movies because there are a couple of them too that have just been delayed so long that you're just like, well, this movie was made, 2.5 years ago now, so it's just a different energy and a different, some things have aged in the interim, I think.
Yeah. I think your probably biggest example of that is something that you mentioned is Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, for
where
sure.
Everybody was a bit more jaded from the time that the movie was filmed compared to when it was released because of the pandemic and everything that happened in between.
Yeah, I do think that film suffered from that a little bit as well. But
definitely.
I'll be very interested to see how Black Widow goes, particularly with like kind of the break in Marvel movies. But now we've kind of had the reintroduction of like the superhero genre again in the form of both WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but also Snyder Cut as well. So it'll be really interesting to see how this kind of goes back as the first kind of Marvel's back.
Yeah, this will be the first Marvel movie since Spider-Man: Far From Home in July 2019. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it'll be 2 years really because this is now releasing on July 9th. Is the latest updated release date. So
yeah, I think I'm excited for it. It's definitely one I will try and see in theaters now that things seem to be a little bit more calmer, particularly up here where we are, and more people getting vaccinated and that kind of thing. But any of those big ones I think I'm gonna try. I think we're kind of to the point now where we can try and see them in theaters and feel pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think so, especially by July. That's a whole another month and a half of vaccines rolling out. So things will be even hopefully better then. All right. Well, for our next news story, Dwayne Johnson reveals Black Adam 2022 release date. So
that's
via
insane.
his Instagram. Yeah, via his Instagram on Sunday, it was. He announced the release date of July 29th, 2022.
I genuinely think he was cast as Black Adam in like 2010.
Yeah,
like, it's been
so
that long.
If not earlier.
Yeah, no, if not earlier. It has been that long since he was cast at that point. I mean, when was Avengers? Because I'm pretty sure it was right after Man of Steel.
Avengers 2012.
2011? Yeah.
Okay, 2012 for Avengers. When was Man of Steel? Also 2012?
13.
Okay.
2013.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Dwayne Johnson's been cast as Black Adam since then.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I remember this being announced so long ago, but nothing really moving on it too much.
No, I think he just became the biggest movie star in the world, quite literally.
He did.
In the interim. So then they just kind of kept having to grow their expectations.
Exactly. This is so. Black Adam is like the.
He's traditionally the main kind of villain for Shazam.
For Shazam, exactly.
He's in recent years kind of become more of an anti-hero. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna get to. Is I don't know. That's what I know of him, but do you guys know the specifics? I don't know if Tyler, if you know anything more specific about Black Adam.
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much anybody that knows anything about him is basically just knows him as the main villain for Shazam. Other than that, I don't know a whole lot about him.
His powers are also magic based.
Yeah. And honestly, for the most part, he's probably one of my favorite characters to play in Injustice 2.
I was gonna say that's mostly what I know him from as well.
I didn't even know he was in Injustice 2.
Yeah, he's great too. He's a very good range player.
Yeah, he's got lightning based powers.
Yeah, his lightning is basically he can just light you up and pin you in a corner from range, which is very deadly. But yeah, other than that, I don't know a whole lot about him. He's not like one of my main characters that like dug into or anything like that.
I'll be interested to see how The Rock plays him because The Rock kind of always plays The Rock,
Yeah, like The Rock isn't Black Adam. Black Adam's The Rock.
Sure. Well, I mean, he's Dwayne Johnson, but the artist formerly known as The Rock. I'll be interested to see how he plays.
The question is, will he also pursue a solo music career?
I think Dave Bautista at this point has more range than The Rock does.
Yeah.
Really?
I would argue that.
And they both came from wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. Out of the wrestlers, I think Bautista has the most range. Rock has most charisma.
Yeah.
He's in Blade Runner 2049. He's
he is. Holy shit! I forgot about that.
He's
in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
in the Guardians, which is huge for him.
He's gonna be in Dune, as well.
Yep.
Another Denny V movie, baby.
He's in Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
Sure. He was in something else too that I was impressed with him. I think as an actor he like tries to push himself a little bit. Do some other stuff. John Cena's really funny too. John Cena is going to be in a Suicide Squad, which we may be talking about in a little bit. Spoilers, bit of sizzle.
Bit of sizzle. Room 104.
Are you looking up Bautista's stuff?
My Spy, Escape Plan, Avengers Endgame, Stuber.
What was his first film? Was his first film
Guardians? I want to say, yeah. If it wasn't like his second,
because that's where I know him from. That's where I like first know him from.
His earliest.
Yeah,
but is that like his first thing he's been featured in?
I would say that's probably his first like big one. Spectre.
Spectre. Big one, sure.
Yeah, he's one of the henchmen in Spectre.
I don't think I saw Spectre.
He's old Diamond Thumbs.
Riddick.
Oh.
Yeah, he was in Riddick from 2013. Yeah.
Which Riddick film? Because isn't there
the one called Riddick?
Yeah, just Riddick. Which is the first one, I think, right?
He? No, the first one's Pitch Black.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have to pull that up and see who he is.
He's Diaz.
Bro,
I actually genuinely like those movies.
I've never seen any of those.
He's Diaz. That's
Pitch Black's good. Pitch Black's a pretty cool movie.
I don't mind the Riddicks.
That's not the only one I would openly recommend.
Scorpion King 3.
Of course. Which I'm pretty sure was like funded by the WWE at that point.
That makes sense. Yeah, other than that, it's just WWE wrestling games, or the SmackDowns and stuff like that. Smallville. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out Rob.
But anyways, moving on. Another tangent down. Let's keep going.
Sorry. Dave Bautista, everybody.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Where did that start?
Dave Bautista.
No, but before
wrestlers, the range that.
Oh yeah, Black Adam, Shazam. There we go. I really want to see this movie. I'll be very interested to see what happens with it.
Agreed.
Hope they get someone to direct it. Also, I didn't even check the news. Are we talking about the fact that Ava DuVernay's New Gods got canceled?
No.
Yeah, so WB canceled The Trench, but they also canceled Ava DuVernay's The New Gods, which was upcoming DC movie that was going to be based, or was co-written with Tom King, who's a well-known comic writer, but was going to be focused on like these kind of weirder sides of like cosmic DC villains, so like Big Barda, Granny Goodness, all these kind of deep cut DC heroes and villains and stuff, and that got canceled because apparently WB wants more space between Snyder Cut and that movie, which was also going to feature Darkseid. So that's their excuse that they're coming out with, is that they don't want to have those two so close to each other, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah,
because
it's stupid. Look at all the Avengers stuff.
And there's multiple Batmans played by different actors like currently in the universe.
Yeah.
So you got RP and Batfleck.
Yeah, I think it's dumb. But anyways, that's the one I wanted to see. I don't really care about The Trench, even though I do like James Wan. But I'm very sad that New Gods got canceled.
You also have two Jokers fighting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Stupid idiots.
Bring back New Gods. Anyways, next news story.
Yeah, next news story. Knives Out sequel lands at Netflix.
Oh, was it Netflix that got it? I thought Amazon did.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
shit!
Netflix,
I wish Amazon got
Netflix
it.
snagged the two follow-up sequels to the 2019 feature. Yeah, 2019 feature Knives Out.
I kind of hate that actually because Netflix rarely releases them in theaters, and I feel like I trust Ryan Johnson enough that I want to see that in theaters.
You want to see it in theaters?
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
look at the budget behind the Lord of the Rings TV show. Wouldn't you rather have something like that behind something that we like so much?
I believe he's already made them, and then Netflix is purchasing them because he owns the rights to Knives Out, and it's his production company that finances them. So
no, the first film is set to start shooting this summer, actually.
oh, okay. Well, never mind then. But I still think I think he sold the rights, as in like he does the production side on his own because he's independent as they kind of come.
He's in.
But yeah, wasn't it like 420 million or some shit like that?
The first film earned 311.4 million.
No, I'm saying that Netflix bought it for.
Oh, sure. There's no number in the story.
Oh, okay,
so
never mind then. I just know these things. Industry insiders. Let's go with that.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm excited. I really like Knives Out.
Yeah, it's great.
And I like the character. Daniel Craig is Benoit Blanc.
That's who it's focusing on, right? It's going to be like another Benoit.
It's going to be like
Blanc.
another mystery kind of thing. I don't think it would be focusing around the same the same family.
Right.
I think they're going to be just another mystery solved by Benoit Blanc.
Have we all seen Knives Out?
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Yep, I have.
It's great.
Does the second one have Lakeith Stanfield in it as well?
It doesn't say here in the story, but hopefully he played the other
curious.
detective. So
yeah, right. He was like his sidekick.
Yeah, that'd be really fun if they brought him back. That'd be cool. I'd like that.
That would be cool. Yeah, Daniel Craig's character in that, I love him a lot, but his accent felt like to me it was him trying to do Kevin Spacey in House of Cards. If you go back and watch it, it kind of felt like that. He was kind of going for that same vibe.
Don't ruin that for me.
Oops, might be too late for that one, bud. I'm sorry.
No, I always think of him as more like Foghorn Leghorn. Have you seen Logan Lucky?
Man, no, but I feel like I should.
Yeah, you should watch.
I've heard of it before.
That might be one we do on the pod. We do all Ocean's movies, and then we'll do Logan Lucky. Same director.
Oh, cool. Maybe one day.
Maybe.
Wow. All right, next news story. Stephen Yeun joins Jordan Peele's next Universal thriller.
Cool.
So Stephen Yeun, the star from The Walking Dead and the recent feature Minari, who just got nominated for an Academy Award, is going to be joining Keke Palmer in Jordan Peele's next thriller.
Keke Palmer.
Which is set,
you mean True Jackson
July 22nd. What?
I said you mean True Jackson VP.
Yes. Yeah, True Jackson VP. What's the spelling bee movie?
Something.
Aquila and the Bee. Aquila and the Bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morpheus is in that. What's his face?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. I forgot his name. That's how I knew him.
Old Larry Fish.
So good.
Yeah, the Fishburne. This is set for a July 22nd, 2022 release date. So we'll get this, and then if nothing gets delayed, following week will be Black Adam. So
did you just say Larry Fish?
Oh, yeah, I did say Larry Fish.
Isn't that somebody's Instagram? Somebody famous Instagram?
Maybe. I have no idea.
I
don't know.
Is it Lawrence Fishburne's Instagram?
Could be. That might be Mac Miller's Instagram.
Oh, RIP if it is.
To be honest with you. RIP, yeah. I apologize. That just severely dragged the mood down.
No, we're all right.
His Instagram is Mac Miller. That might have been his old Instagram name. That's why it rang a bell so deeply.
It was one of those deep memories.
Yeah.
You ever get that? I had one today where Adam Birkenbach, shout out Adam Birkenbach, brought up a song to me today. And I was just like, oh my God, I have not heard this since I was like 13, 14, and like genuinely forgot about its existence. And then and it was like one of those ones that was like high on my iPod Nano, my green iPod Nano Generation 2. Yeah. But yeah, you ever have one of those song that comes back to you? No, I'm just by myself.
All the time.
Song, keywords, whatever.
Yeah.
On the way back from Florida, me and my friends threw on a few throwbacks. Listened to Party Rock Anthem. And Sorry for Party Rockin'.
Man, what a great senior year of high school that was.
I was gonna say, what year is that? That's got to be 2011 or so.
I was in the 5th grade.
Man.
Oof.
Yikes.
Yeah. I love making you guys feel old. So anytime I have the chance to.
I'm gonna make you feel young. Hey, by the way, how is your I'm never gonna like a movie before 1930 or 1950 or whatever?
It was
I think it was
1970.
Yeah, how's that aged? Like milk, I hope.
I believe I corrected myself when I watched was it Jaws? Not Jaws.
No, Jaws.
I watched no, it was Rear Window. I think it was when I watched Rear Window. I corrected myself and said, you know what, I might have just throw that out the window.
Yeah, that comes back to haunt me on certain days. I'll have a little bit of quiet time, and then that statement just floats into my brain.
Yeah, I really, I don't know.
Okay.
I've changed my opinion.
You're forgiven. It's all good.
This last news story is for one Tyler Vidalis. The Friends reunion special finally set to film for HBO Max.
They have been talking about that forever.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time. It was originally supposed to be filmed and released on May 27th, 2020, when HBO Max launched.
Wow.
But it was never really put together.
Yeah. I think Leo was telling me that she was reading and they're going to make $4 million an episode.
I mean, towards the end, they were all making $1 million each.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that was that was like their biggest thing was they all early on were like, hey, no one's going to make more money than anyone else. And so they were always able to bargain together, basically, which is cool.
Yeah.
Now they're all very rich.
Yeah, they are. And they're all still like, I think they're relatively good people.
They seem like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think any of them have really fallen off too much.
I mean, no one knows what David Schwimmer's up to.
Yeah, I have no idea where he's at.
True.
All
right. Well,
LeBlanc is still relevant.
Yeah, but yeah. How do you feel about this? Are you excited for it? Are you
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
watch
pretty
it right
hyped.
away?
So we actually just hit season 10 last night.
Oh, is that the start of season 10 that we?
It was the end of season 9. So yeah, we're
Right,
starting season 10.
I've
so.
determined that the tail end of season 9 is my least favorite bit of the show.
Yeah. So yeah, we're getting to the very end here. I think I'm gonna finish it in this apartment, which is gonna kind of suck because then there's like another thing that's like in this apartment that I'm gonna miss.
You know what? That's gonna coincide well, though. I think you'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Adam. I heard you say that you wanted to move on.
Oh no, you're good. I'm down to keep talking. Again, this Discord delay sometimes I just can't get the timing right.
Soon we'll all be in the same place again.
Soon enough. Trailer talk. Which one do you guys want to start out with?
Trailers.
Talk a little trailer.
Did you guys watch the Spiral one? I'm just gonna jump in real quick with that.
Spiral. I've not no.
I did because that's the one you sent in the group me, right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking. Adam, have you seen Saw?
No.
I think he said he hasn't seen a single one.
I haven't.
Okay. We'll have to think about that soon. But I'm excited for this. It looks cool. It looks more 7-ish. I like that Chris Rock is doing it. I think it's an interesting choice. See what happens. Directed by the guy that did Saw 2, which is probably the second best Saw. So
for sure, I'd agree.
I'll be interested to see if they kind of pull it in a different direction and can kind of refloat this franchise because it's a fascinating franchise for me.
It really is. When it came out, it was like groundbreaking.
So fresh, man. Yeah,
I feel like they just did one too many movies, man.
Yeah.
But I find that choice because it's such a relic of its time. Like I think it might be the most profitable horror franchise of all time, if not like Paranormal Activity's like right under it.
Yeah.
But there was a period where there was a new Saw movie every Halloween.
Yeah.
And they just made money hand over fist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be doing some research on Saw too soon, I think.
Yeah. Saw's great, man.
What exactly is Chris Rock's role in this?
I think he's
got his hands kind of like on the movie making aspect of it.
Right. I know he's producing it. I remember it coming out that he was going to like kind of be taking over because they didn't really know what to do with it after Jigsaw, which was kind of this like weird, lame attempt to kind of reinvent the franchise. Yeah. So then Chris Rock came in and said he was going to do it, and he seems to be kind of taking it. Well, there seems to be a general movement in horror the last couple of years post Get Out to this kind of using way more emphasis on like the Black experience in horror in particular. You have, it's quickly followed up by Us. Then you have movies like Antebellum, the remake of Candyman, the pushing of Saw kind of into this other realm too, which again, they all seem to be really effective. It's definitely a new technique or a new voice being brought to horror cinema, and it totally makes sense. I think it'll be the kind of the next little horror bubble. It kind of feels like it may be that we kind of view these years as the kind of Black horror takeover experience, which is it's kind of cool and exciting and new. So I think they're kind of pushing it that way. But he seems to be the main character. Samuel L. Jackson, it seems to be his dad, who may have previously worked on the case or anything like that. I think I know Chris Rock is producing. I don't know if he had a hand in the writing, but again, producer can mean kind of so many different things, and you can be so kind of involved in it too that we'll never maybe know kind of what his extent is on there. But he's definitely the star of it, so kind of a more interesting dramatic role for him. I'm really excited. I'll definitely be checking this out. I know, Blake, you were kind of lukewarm on it a little bit. Have I convinced you to go see this?
Yeah, I'll probably see it just for the sake of horror.
Have you seen all the Saws?
I want to say yes, but that could be a lie. You know what I mean?
I mean, it really could. It could be any of them.
Yeah. It could be a lie without you knowing it. Though.
Yeah.
Like you're not trying to lie on purpose. You just don't genuinely know.
I believe so, though. I genuinely believe so. I know I've seen the last one. I know I've seen Jigsaw.
Yeah, that's the one I've tuned in and out.
But it's so hard for me to tell. Like, I can't even distinguish anything after like the third Saw.
Remember in like the seventh one when the lead singer of Linkin Park showed up in it for like 5 minutes?
Okay,
that's a true statement, folks.
Jigsaw is 7. So Jigsaw's not 7.
No, Jigsaw's 8.
Jesus, yeah. I don't know, man. I probably have seen.
I'm pretty sure.
Isn't the lead singer of Linkin Park passed now too?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. R.I.P.
Son of
R.I.P.
B.
But anyway, sorry, this was me taking over trailer talk really quickly. But let's go on to the trailers we actually watched for this week.
We'll just start off with Suicide Squad. Came out the day after we recorded, but so it's been about a week and a half. Thoughts here, guys? I think this trailer actually looked really good. I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, so I'm like one of those rare people that actually likes the first one. Like I'm not like in love with it, but I don't hate it as much as everybody else does.
And I viscerally hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Like the ending, well, not the ending. Everything but the first 15 to 20 minutes is just absolute trash. But that 15 to 20 minutes just really like drags me into that universe, and I just love all those characters, from playing all the Arkham games to doing all the animated stuff, and just like having those characters in my life for so long as a kid. And I fall in love with it so much, and I really want to like love it, but it's just fucking ass.
Oh man, I agree. I think the first 15 minutes of Suicide Squad are great, but anything past that is just utter dog shit.
Yeah,
like it's so disappointing.
Yeah, it sucks.
But this looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
I believe in James Gunn.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not?
Yeah. His track record speaks for itself, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This seems to have a very clear vision. It's very obviously kind of influenced by like the 70s Dirty Dozen, Sam Peckinpah, like violent, gritty, but also has something to say. Starro, it seems to be the main villain. Spoiler alert, red band trailer. I don't care. I love that it's a giant starfish. A lot of people are going to die. This looks awesome.
Yeah, the only other person I would have wanted to have done this is Tim Miller, who did Deadpool.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course.
That would have been cool.
And you know what?
The only other person.
I wouldn't be surprised if he like did the third one or something. Because they're gonna need, because James Gunn's going back to Disney, so you never know.
Right. Facts.
Let's start
We'll
start the hashtag campaign right now. Exclusive. This is the second one tonight. A Back Row Banter exclusive, folks. Adam, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's going to be hopefully a lot different than the first one in all the better ways. What shocks me is that if you wait till the end of the trailer and you see the entire cast, like all the names they put up there, and then how many characters we actually see in the movie, and the fact that James Gunn has said don't get attached to any characters. Who knows what's gonna happen with these in this movie, and who knows who's actually gonna live and who's gonna get killed off right at the beginning. Like
so many people are gonna die.
I'm okay with that. I think it'll be fun. I'd still like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
you know?
she's the only one that I'm like, she's at least safe, or they like kill her and they're like, this is an alternate universe. Like, she'll be definitely coming back for sure. I feel like. John Cena seems very funny.
Yeah, John Cena.
Idris
He's,
Elba
again, another WWE wrestler.
But I think that's part of it, right? So much of WWE's performance. Yeah, you know.
I mean, they obviously probably do their own stunt work, so you don't have to do anything else with that.
Yeah.
They're
strong as
fairly
shit.
good-looking people, you know, at the very least. So you got that. They're incredible, incredibly versatile wrestlers.
Back Row Banter exclusive.
David Dastmalchian is in it.
He shows up all the time. I love him.
Yeah, he shows up in a lot of stuff. But yeah, I like him too. He's good.
Patron saint of the Back Row Banter podcast. I'm calling it right now.
I wish he would get a lead role. I want to see him take a lead role.
Yeah, he always
maybe he has. I just haven't seen one. But anything I see him in, he's always some kind of random side character or has a very small role.
He's great in Prisoners.
Take something on.
And
he's in Prisoners.
He kind of works with Denny V a lot too, as well.
He's in Doom too, isn't he?
Yeah, and Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And Blade Runner. He's also in.
Yeah.
Did I say that, or did I say?
I don't think you
Prisoners?
said that.
Okay,
said Prisoners.
Yeah,
but you ever like meet those people? Have you guys ever seen Blue Mountain State?
Yeah,
I've seen a couple episodes.
So the main character is just a secondary quarterback in college, and he's like totally happy with his life. So like maybe that's just like his role. Like he doesn't want a main role. Maybe he just he's just totally happy being in the background.
He's the correct level of famous. Like
Oh yeah.
If you could be anything, it's the backup quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
Or
and he doesn't give a shit. He's totally happy.
Or well-known character actor in Hollywood that just happens to work with like Denny V, who just is a great director.
Incredible.
Who's the other guy? There's the one guy that works for Christopher Nolan, and like he's in all of his movies too, and he's just like in the background all the time.
Which guy is that?
He plays he's the main guy. Blake, you'll know him. He's the main guy in The Collector, like the main character, like the. But he's also in. He's like in Dark Knight Rises and like Inception. or something like that.
He is. As soon as he said that, I realized he's in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, he's always like a background. His name's Josh Stewart.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. I never even put that together, dude.
But yeah, a lot of times you'll see directors end up working with like consistent actors, or like background character actors, just because I think it comes down to a lot of like. Filmmaking is such an ever-changing process, and like you may show up one day and just have a script change, and you need to have your guys there that can just roll with the punches. And once you find those folks and you can kind of slot them in wherever you need them, it just makes total sense, as a collaborator or anything like that.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
Man, I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just really excited to see everyone.
You're totally good, man.
Let's get on it. Let's at least get to like what we're watching or something. I'm gonna take a little time out, folks.
Let's cover the next two trailers. Well, let's do it rather quickly. Marvel dropped another Black Widow trailer. Which Nathaniel.
Yeah, I meant let's go to what we're watching without me talking.
Let's get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
New Black Widow trailer. I watched it all. Nathaniel, you said you stopped halfway through.
Yeah, I was watching it and I got to the point, and this happens to me a lot, but I think it happens to a lot of people where you just like you watch a couple different trailers and you kind of go, oh man, I'm seeing too much of this movie.
Yeah.
And so I got like halfway through, and after not that this trailer showed any more than anything else had, but having watched those other trailers before, I kind of got to this one. I was like, okay, I'm seeing too much of this. I want to stop here at this point, which again, I think is because of COVID. If this,
you have to find some way to rejuvenate the things that you already put out.
You do, yeah.
I'm concerned
still get people excited.
I'm concerned for James Bond for the same reason, because I feel like I've seen all of that movie, Fast and Furious 9. They seem to just be at least releasing kind of the same trailer again. I think this will be kind of an interesting thing going forward.
Yeah.
As they kind of try and get hype for these movies.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll only have to do this kind of thing, once. and we won't have to sit in quarantine and all this other lockdown bullshit.
But the bit of it I saw made me more excited for this. I'm really interested to see where they're going with everything on this overall.
Yeah. I've been excited for this. I'm not like I need to see this movie, which is why I guess I'm not like overly excited about this. Which is why when Nathaniel was like it's showing me too much, I was just like, well, then I'm not going to watch it. So,
Blake, are you back in on the Marvel universe? Are you going to be seeing this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch the films. I've never been too big of a TV show guy. That's why I didn't watch WandaVision. That's why I'm not really paying attention to Falcon and Winter Soldier. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll watch the movie. It's got Florence Pugh in it. That's like mad cool points for me
because of Midsommar.
To go see it. Absolutely, yeah. Strictly off Midsommar. That's good enough cool points for me to go see.
And it's got
I'm sold.
David Harbour from Stranger Things / Hellboy.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I saw him in there as well. But yeah, this one, like you guys said earlier, it's just been delayed for so long. And I'm glad they're at least finally getting out. But to be clear, I don't have the highest expectations for this film.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I did either, but this trailer made me more excited overall, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, what was kind of your thoughts?
I do agree that it maybe showed a little bit too much, and I think you're right that it's just COVID. They do need to revamp the hype for it. But what they showed, I really liked. It seems like they're gonna have some cool choreography as far as like some kind of sky fight or something like that.
Yeah.
And also you kind of get a little bit more background as to who these characters actually are. It just seems like it's Natasha's family. So I think it'll be interesting to see. Do you guys think they're gonna try to somehow revive Black Widow for the MCU, or do you think she's done after this?
I think ScarJo might be done. I think if anything, they'll take Florence Pugh as the next kind of generation.
Yeah,
sure.
That's just kind of I think that might be where they're at with that one. And, ScarJo will get her solo movie. It'll be like a nice send off. She'll make a ton of money, and then if they ever need to, no one's ever really dead in comics. So you can always find some way to bring her back at the end of it. So, but I'm excited. I genuinely kind of like everyone said. I've kind of been lukewarm on this so far, but just watching it, I was kind of like, hey, no, I think I'm kind of hyped for this at this point. In some ways, for me, I think the distance has helped. Particularly with like this character who we've seen quite a few times and kind of gotten to know and love a little bit. So.
Marvel hasn't missed in a while, man. So
it's true.
I'm pretty hopeful. All right, our last trailer for Trailer Talk: Space Jam: A New Legacy.
How do you feel about this, Adam? Have you seen the original Space Jam?
I have seen the original Space Jam.
How old were you?
This was last year.
Okay,
I think I watched it with my freshman year roommate.
I can imagine you didn't.
That was your first time seeing that, dude?
It wasn't my first time. I'd seen it as a kid, but I haven't seen it since I was a kid until last year. So it had been a long ass time.
I can imagine you being kind of like lukewarm on it.
No, I mean I liked it, but it is kind of like a mid-90s movie.
I was gonna say I haven't seen it since I was probably 10, and I just only have pure good memories of it. I can imagine it's just not as good now, because it's just fine. Very much of its time.
It's still kind of fun, from what I remember of it. This one I am hesitant to say I like it, but at the same time they're doing some things that I think are cool. There seems to be a lot of IP that they're pushing into this. Because he goes to like some kind of like what was it, server world or something?
Yeah.
And so there seems to be a lot of character crossover, almost like a Ready Player One style crossover.
This seems like that's my exact thought process. As we were watching, I went, "Oh my god, it's Warner Brothers Ready Player One."
Yeah.
Which I don't even.
Which is wild.
Warner Brothers might have produced Ready Player One. I can't even remember, but like it was just like
I don't remember.
It was. Man, like for that reason, I don't know. There's just points where I was like, Pennywise is in the background. I saw like the dudes from like Clockwork Orange are back there. Like, I was just like, what is going on?
Oh,
no. There's like the dragon from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there was like a Game of Thrones world at one point. So I'll say this: once the like basketball bit started. I was kind of like, okay, no, I can get behind this. And they're playing, I think it's like the Goon tune or something, or the Goon Squad or something like that, instead of the Monstars, which are obviously R.I.P. Monstars for life. But I think once the basketball game kind of started in the second half of the trailer, I was kind of more in on it and seemed a little bit kind of flowier. The first half just really drug for me and just really seemed like didn't look good. Everything looked very green screeny. And it was just, and like the jokes just weren't written well. LeBron James, God bless him, he
can't act.
He seems he's trying, and he's got a natural charisma to him, but some of the words, some of his dialogue seems like it's just not how he would naturally speak or anything like that. And
how do you feel about them animating LeBron James for that basketball sequence?
You know, that actually I thought was kind of cool.
Mainly animated.
I thought that was actually kind of cool. Like going back to the 2D animation on there. My only kind of issue with it was like you can also tell that like he is a 2021 cartoon, and then they've got a 2021 rendering of 1930s Bugs Bunny. And so you could kind of see the little difference there, but that's stupid film nerd shit. So, like, I think overall, I thought it looked pretty good. Yeah, man, I don't know.
All right. Who here is planning on seeing this movie?
It looks
I
like
think I might watch it.
I'll probably watch it, you know, just for the sake of it being Space Jam and LeBron James. But I mean, I certainly know I'm not the target audience, you know.
Are you guys Jordan or James? Have we had this conversation before?
Jordan.
Oh man.
Like
the Last Dance doc.
Yeah, the Last Dance
made me want to lean towards Jordan more than I usually do.
Sure.
But I think just overall to not even get into a debate, I would probably say LeBron James.
Right. Really? Like I think nowadays if Prime Jordan went up against Prime James, I genuinely know zero things about basketball, but like it just seems that like evolution of the game, modern techniques, modern stuff, just all the tape, it seems like LeBron would be in a better position to take on Jordan than Jordan would for me. So
my thing is you don't have that evolution of the game. You don't have LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. You don't have those players without Michael Jordan.
Sure, totally makes sense. But
you're right.
Like he's the one that started the whole idea of an NBA star, all-star, like or not all-star, but like an NBA star, and that with that kind of play with the shooting he had and everything like that, the style.
Do you feel like this is a good legacy for Space Jam to go with, or should they have like tried to involve Michael in some way, and then like there's probably actually a 50-50 chance he shows up as a cameo or something.
I think they probably. I don't know. I feel like if they would have went to Mike, they would have just brought him in for his full sequel.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that LeBron and Michael Jordan get along very well, but I don't really know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that like Jordan's just kind of like minding his own business nowadays. He's just kind of like, I want nothing to do.
He's got
with
so
this.
much money, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. I saw this was produced by Ryan Coogler, which I think is interesting, though.
Yeah. To Nathaniel's point, this might be kind of their new thing that they're going to do, where maybe, you know, in the next 20 years, whoever the next great basketball player is, right, they'll get their own space.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Or something like that. Yeah. I wouldn't have any rebuttals to that.
Yeah, I think if they do that, you know, 20 years from now or something like that, that'd be pretty neat, you know. I think Blake, you kind of bring up a good point. There is just kind of this like there may be a little bit of backlash on this in just both of kind of like, oh, you can't create the original, but also that argument of Jordan James gets like I think thrown in there a little bit too. So yeah, I think for me, if streaming services didn't exist, this is a perfect example of an airplane movie. But because it is a streaming service, I'll probably just throw it on one day and watch it. I think Tyler's pretty against it.
I won't watch it unless someone's like, dude, you gotta watch it. I'm not a huge LeBron fan. I think I'm a huge fan of the first one, which is why I'm very one-sided here.
You don't want this to ruin it for you?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm 30, and Space Jam is something that I like grew up on, and that's like, you know, when Jordan was kind of in his prime and everything like that, and you know, he was still like overly relevant, and excuse me, I think this would just kind of kind of take away from it for me, and I don't want that. And so I will only watch this under like extreme circumstances where I'm like, I have to watch this.
Yeah, the first one is 96. I just pulled it up on IMDb. So 25 years.
Yeah.
So
it's so nostalgic in my mind that I'm actually almost like mad that they're trying to reboot this. But yeah, that's my take. So
sure. Do you think if this comes to like a streaming service that you have, would you watch it?
That would be like my extreme circumstance. Like I would have to like literally have nothing else to watch. It would be pretty much that. I would have to like have nothing else to watch, and
you'd have to be really bored.
Really bored, yeah.
Sure. What are the odds Leah makes you watch it?
0.
No,
she doesn't like sports.
Not
Get it out of here
for Leah. I don't think.
I had no idea if maybe she was into cartoons or Looney Tunes or something.
Nope.
All right. Well, let's move on here to the new to streaming. Thankfully, it is rather short because we are running rather long on time. This is going to be your new streaming for the week of April 4th through April 10th. To Netflix, you have What Lies Below, which seemed like a horror movie from 2020. Have you, Nathaniel, Blake, anybody seen this?
Nothing I've seen, no.
I don't think I've seen that.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's it for Netflix. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Isn't there a movie called What Lies Beneath?
Yeah, there is. I don't know anything about it though. It's a name that I know it is a movie, but I know nothing.
Yeah. That's almost what I thought you said, obviously, until I read it, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I've seen this one.
That's it for Netflix. Amazon Prime and Hulu have nada. Absolutely nothing really worth checking out. I think I might change the new to streaming. I might change it to the Adam Schwartz's completely subjective new to streaming list. Because it is. I mean, there's things coming out. It's just like nothing I would.
I mean, I actually also did it.
Sounds interesting.
I did a browse this week too, and there really isn't anything. So this week I will co-sign that with you, as Blake would say.
Okay, good. HBO Max, the new Mutants.
I got 25% of that
Daniel,
left.
You watched this, right?
I watched 75% of it. It actually is one that I did watch on an airplane. So maybe I'll watch the remaining 25% on another airplane. But
I heard it's pretty broken.
Yeah, it's not good. But check it out if you want to.
Yeah. And then to Disney Plus, you get Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4.
Very excited for that.
I've only seen the first episode. Have you guys seen more?
We've caught up, but we won't discuss it too much in defensive time. So it is really good. I enjoy it. Do recommend it. Excited for episode 4 and where it goes.
All right.
Agreed.
Well, let's get to what we're watching here, guys. I'll go first just because I haven't watched much since I was on my trip.
Sure.
Only thing I watched is we had a little downtime and I watched a few episodes of Demon Slayer.
Nice.
Yeah, I was able to boot up Netflix on my laptop. It's getting good. I watched 2 or 3 episodes, so I'm now on episode like 5 or 6. Things are picking up a little bit finally because he trained for a long time.
Sure.
But he's got his katana now. He's got his first assignment, so I'm liking it so far. I'm really excited to see where it goes because everybody's hyped it up so much, and I'm not like absolutely loving it so far, but I think I finally hit a turning point where he's done training. He's finally an actual Demon Slayer, and hopefully it picks up from here.
There's one battle that you're coming up to soon where that was when I was like, oh, yeah, I'm in. So I think it'll be there, and you'll know it when you get to it.
Okay, for sure. And then the other thing I got to was I started rewatching How I Met Your Mother. And I say rewatch, but I have actually never seen it all the way through. I've seen, I think, like 75% of the series, maybe 80%, because my brother watched it all the time, and I would always watch it with him. But I've never started from the beginning and watched it all the way through. And so I kind of want a new comedy to watch, and so I threw that on. So I've watched 10 or 12 episodes or so. And that show's so good.
Yeah, man,
it still holds up.
That was my show of college. I watched that so many times.
That show is really, really good.
Yeah, but I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's all I had. Ty, Nathaniel, you guys want to take it off?
Go for it, Ty.
Man. We did Initial D.
Yeah, we've done a lot of Initial D, which is our new anime show that I'm fully in on at this point.
Friends, which I talked about, finished season 9. It was like a 50-minute long episode.
Yeah, they do end in double episodes sometimes.
Yeah. Which is great. I'm down. Seaspiracy, which is a documentary that we watched.
You guys got around to that?
We did.
Yep.
It was really, really eye-opening.
Made me sad.
Yeah.
What were they mentioning on there?
It's basically
ocean
fishing.
pollution, right?
Yeah, so there's definitely some talk of ocean pollution. The crazy part is where it goes from there, and kind of what's destroying the ocean. And there's basically a giant garbage patch.
Yeah.
And what they don't tell you is that over 50% of it is made up of commercial fishing gear, which is obviously
no bueno.
Yeah, it's not like straws and bags that people are throwing into the ocean. I mean, it is that stuff, but a majority of it is commercial fishing gear, which nobody talks about in any of their clean up the ocean forums or
like initiatives.
Yeah.
It's a pretty deep dive into a lot of misinformation around ocean conservation and how definitely a lot of different groups have a lot of interests kind of shifting blame to other areas. I've since kind of seen some journalism kind of disputing some of the movie. The movie's clearly very biased.
Sure.
And
like all documentaries, which is a huge pinch of salt to go with on there. And there's as a film critic, if you want to call it that, or a film scholar, film school student, there's definitely parts where you can see the kind of seams of it and see him working and kind of it is determined. It seemed easy to determine what was kind of fabrication and what was him telling the story and kind of coming into new information at a time, or at different times, because there's so much of it where it seems like it's like, how did you not know this about the ocean or something like that, you know? Especially as he kind of sets himself up as an ocean lover. Yeah.
That being said, it's very compelling. It makes a very good case for some different choices that you can make in that kind of thing, and is timely to say the least. There's a lot of really good ocean documentaries that you could check out though, and I think that's part of it too. That's my thoughts.
Would you guys recommend this one? Because I was thinking about
100%. I'm a big ocean lover.
We both are.
Yeah, I guess I can't even say ocean. I just like water. I grew up around water in the cabin that we have down in Southern Illinois. I was a swimmer. I was a lifeguard. So yeah, I love water. I always told people if I go back and like actually apply myself in school and like be what I wanted to be when I grew up, it would be like a marine biologist.
Okay. Dope.
But other than that, like the aquarium's like my favorite place.
Shed.
Yeah. Or any aquarium for that matter. Sharks, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, when this like came around to the sharks and everything like that cuts deep for me and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I definitely would recommend that to everybody. I started yelling at people in the grocery store. Leah and I walked past all the frozen food and I was like, don't eat any of this. It's all bullshit.
I would say, yeah, overall, it's a really good kind of introduction into a lot of different issues that are facing the ocean currently, with the idea that if you are passionate or see anything in there that is crazy or something, you can there are definitely other documentaries also on like some of those micro subjects as well too that you should check out.
Mm-hmm. Now, after watching this, do you guys think Seaspiracy is the better title compared to Conspiracy, or do you still think they should have gone with Conspiracy?
I don't know why you wouldn't go with Conspiracy.
Yeah, man, it's too good.
The only thing I can come up with is that someone else has
it locked up somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Makes sense.
All right.
I guess, is that all you watched for the most part?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't remember going on anything like too crazy. A lot of YouTube.
Yeah, we always do YouTube. We watched
Twitch.
a lot of Twitch and a lot of Initial D for the most part. I also watched Seaspiracy with Tyler and Carolia. It made me sad. I let them know that before we watched it, though.
Yeah.
I watched Shin Godzilla because I was really.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, of course I did. Loved it. Could not get enough of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Totally different movie from like most Godzilla movies.
Wildly different.
Way more in line with the original Japanese movie, which really kind of colored a lot of my thoughts. I felt like this week in general.
Sure.
If you don't know the history of Godzilla, Godzilla was originally made as a Japanese movie, entirely in Japanese. That version never really made it to the States. The Hollywood system saw the movie, recut the movie, and introduced an American character into it that is basically like explaining all of the points of the movie, and that was the movie that was released into the States. So the original movie has all this kind of commentary on wanton destructive forces and kind of the cruel inhumanity of the world, which a lot of people read as this kind of response to the American bombing of Japan after to end World War II. And so it's always kind of, with that in mind, it kind of strikes you as weird, the kind of thing that Godzilla has become, where it's this giant American favorite monster movie, when it's almost in kind of direct criticism of that. But Shin Godzilla, I think, does this really interesting thing where it reorients Godzilla's origin story into kind of like this commentary on Japan's failing during the nuclear reactor meltdown that they had a few years ago at Fukushima. I think that's where it was at. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But kind of uses that as the source of Godzilla's kind of evolution in that movie. And it's written and co-directed by Hideki Anno, who did Neon Genesis Evangelion, and you can really see the DNA in that. Yeah.
That's cool.
So apparently he's kind of he co-directed it with a gentleman by the name, I want to say it's Shinji Higuchi, but he was also a writer on Neon Genesis, and actually the origin for Shinji, the character's name, in there. So it's cool to see them still working together. There's definitely those vibes to it. They're also going to be doing they're kind of doing a series now. So they're doing one coming out soon called Shin Ultraman, which Ultraman is another kind of big series in Japan as well. So it's kind of getting the Anno Higuchi twist to it as well. And then they just said they're going to do another one as well too. So I loved it. I actually bought it on DVD. I'm gonna watch it again soon and watch the American dub. I watched the subs first. It's crazy. It's a ton of information that's coming at you, very similar to Evangelion. There's multiple times I had to pause and like read what was going on screen. But it is prime for me. I know, Tyler, you're not a big fan.
Yeah, I was, when I first saw it, I was kind of like, whatever.
It's not a typical Godzilla movie.
No, not at all. But yeah, I mean, I guess maybe I'd have to go back and rewatch it. But yeah, as of right now, I am still just you can pass on it.
Sure. I definitely recommend it, but it's definitely, I can also see your point on that.
Yeah,
and for sure. Like
especially for like most new watchers.
Yeah,
if
I don't
your mind's
like
not open to it. You're not gonna.
If you're coming into this thinking it's going to be similar to Godzilla v Kong or Godzilla King of Monsters or even 2014 Godzilla, it's just not.
You're dead wrong.
But yeah. I found it fascinating and really cool. I also watched Color Out of Space, which is a Nicolas Cage horror movie from a few years ago. I think it's streaming on Shudder right now, but you can also get physical copies of it. It's an adaptation of an H.P. Lovecraft story, and it's really well done. Unfortunately, like the day that I watched it, 2 days after it, the director was like let go from his production company on domestic violence charges. So he's clearly a terrible person. But the movie's really excellent. It's a really cool adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft brought into the 21st century. If you know anything about Lovecraft, you kind of know what you're in for with that. If you don't know anything about Lovecraft, he kind of specializes in existential, nihilistic, like old gods horror. And is kind of the creationist of all of that, and really brought that genre to the States. That's set in New England, so it kind of ties in with Blake's time this week. But definitely a recommend for me as well. Even if there's I have some issues with it, but overall, very positive.
Gotcha.
Blake, what did you watch this week? I don't imagine you got so much because you were also away.
Yeah, I'm with Adam too, so yeah, I didn't watch too much. I did watch Godzilla 2014.
Okay.
Just so I can kind of open up that universe.
How is that compared
from the
to
jump.
King of Monsters? I haven't seen that in a while.
It's just way less Godzilla. They're almost like two totally different films.
Yeah.
2014 it's so much more focused like on the humans, like the human interaction, God and all that type of stuff. Where Godzilla's in that movie for dude, I'd be surprised if he's in that movie for more than 30 minutes of screen time. It's like a 2-hour movie. You know what I mean? So it's just totally different opposed to King of Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong, where it's a Godzilla movie with side humans. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was cool. And then I also finished. I went back to finish Possessor because that's what Nathaniel brought up. So I went back and finished that, and that was good because I got about 30 minutes through that the first time and ended up falling asleep. Kind of went through off Nathaniel's recommendation. So those are the two I watched, and then obviously Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah, Possessor's good, man. It's good. I like it. I think we can go on a deep dive on that one.
Yeah, we definitely could.
If you ever watch it, but yeah, that's a pretty good horror movie. There, it's got a really interesting play on just kind of just people's like morality on things, right? When they're going through and they're asking this lady to complete a super tough task.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just so scary to me that like that technology doesn't seem that far like out of the question too.
No, I know, dude.
Yeah.
The world is a scary place, man.
You would just never know. You would just never know. Like that's the crazy thing about it. But anyways, we can talk about that. We got to get to this review.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I did. Godzilla 2014 and Possessor.
All right. Well, that leads us to our main review segment. Godzilla vs. Kong, everybody.
We're here. It's happening.
We are
Monkey vs. Lizard. Adam, do you want to introduce how we do our main review segment here?
Man, I can't do that. That's your job, Nathaniel.
Okay, I'll introduce it myself.
Okay.
Basically, if you have not listened to Back Row Banter in a while, or if this is your first time listening, yes, first, shame on you.
But thank you.
Second, thank you for being here. But
thanks for coming back.
What we do here on Back Row Banter on our main review segment is we have it broken down into two different sections. One is going to be non-spoilers. The other side is going to be all spoilers. In the non-spoiler section, we'll kind of break it down, give our IMDb kind of list of everything on there, who directed it, when it came out, who wrote it, whatever. And then also go into our IMDb summary. If it doesn't do a good job of explaining it, we'll explore the summary a little bit more, at least up into the spoilers point. And then we're going to go over our first thoughts and reactions to the movie. We'll kind of get everyone's take on it. And then at the end of the non-spoiler sections, we all have to decide whether we would recommend the movie, yes or no. From then on out, it's going to be all spoilers, any big spoiler sections or any big, plot points that we need to go over. We'll kind of go over at that point, go a little bit deeper. And then we'll welcome everybody back towards the end of the movie or into the review and the movie too. You can come hang out after the movie and see where it ranks on our Entropy list, which is our big list of everything that we've ever reviewed on the podcast. But Adam, would you like to introduce this movie maybe?
That one I can do. This
Okay.
is Godzilla vs. Kong in 2021. It came out a week ago from tomorrow. So I guess a week ago from when this episode goes live. Directed by Adam Wingard, starring Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, Rebecca Hall, and Brian Tyree Henry as the top 4 cast members there. And Kong, of course, and Godzilla. But they're not really credited in the cast.
Justice for our Titans.
Yeah. The IMDb summary reads as follows. The epic next chapter in the cinematic monsterverse pits 2 of the greatest icons in motion picture history against one another, the fearsome Godzilla and the mighty Kong, with humanity caught in the balance.
Terrible summary. That's
it's
a list of things that could happen, I guess.
It tells us what the movie is. It doesn't tell us what happens in it.
True.
Yeah.
What would you say a good summary would be?
Do I have to make this one sentence? Because that's
no. I'll give you a couple. You can just kind of go up into a non-spoiler summary action.
Sure. Well, you have Godzilla. You have Kong.
True.
They fight.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's all that's all you really need.
That's all that really matters.
That's all there
it?
is, man. You got your human backstory, but no one really cares about that. In this movie, it's actually pretty bad. I didn't like much of it. So, your main reason you're watching this movie is to see giant monsters fight, and that's kind of what you get.
Yeah, it seems to understand itself a little bit better than King of Monsters does, right? Like
yeah.
It leans into.
I don't know. I think King of Monsters understood itself pretty well. I think when you look at King of Monsters and this one compared to like 2014 Godzilla, I think that's when they kind of have realized these last two that what the movies really are.
Yeah, man. See, I'm of the opposite opinion. I think 2014 it just stands head and shoulders above these as like a movie, as a destruction fest, or as like, big monsters fighting each other, which is valuable and awesome in its own right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say these are better movies than 2014. I still think 2014's good. I think King of Monsters and this one, they know exactly what they are.
Sure. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there really isn't much human plot in this at all. You need to have each side needs to have a small brunette girl who supports both monsters. At bar none. Unconditional love.
Facts.
And then you need to have a team, and you need to have a location in which you can just kill an entire population and no one will matter.
Yep. Well, they evacuated.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's getting into spoilers. Needless to say, destruction happens, big things happen, shit goes down, as we say. What did you guys think? Adam, what did you think?
I thought it was fine. It was serviceable. If you want to see, as you keep saying, if you want to see monsters smash each other, you get some of that. I do think King of Monsters had more of that I enjoyed.
Okay.
The fights kind of seemed honestly a little stale. I mean, obviously they're fighting each other, but there wasn't any like cool stunts. I mean, or cool like fight moves or something like that. It would just seem kind of standard. They were just hitting each other. And they just kind of go back and forth. And Kong has the axe, but I would have rather him to see him smashing Godzilla with his hands. I mean, the axe was kind of cool, but he does the same thing with it every time, which is just hit him in the side, make him wince, and then he goes and hits him again. It happened both times with him. Actually, I won't say the rest of that sentence, but it happens basically every time he uses his axe, which is in the trailer. That's not a spoiler. So. I honestly, I would recommend this if it has to be binary. I would say I would recommend this if you just want some dumb fun. But honestly, if I had to choose between King of Monsters and this, I would actually probably pick King of Monsters. I don't know where you guys fall on that. Yeah,
interesting.
Okay. Yeah, who wants to go next?
I would have to disagree.
Yeah, elaborate.
Yeah, I prefer the action in this over King of Monsters. I think there's just a little bit more meat on the bone here.
Okay.
It feels like there's a little bit more depth. They kind of elaborated on some more things there, but nothing like too crazy. I kind of like how they have everything figured out for the most part, like where things are specifically and kind of how they handle those certain situations.
More of an established universe. Yep.
Yeah, I would have to pick this over King of Monsters. But maybe that's because I get to see both of them on the same screen.
True.
Yeah.
Blake, how you feeling?
Overall, I like it. Like I said, I mean, this is one of those movies that it knows exactly what it is. I think anybody who is set out to go see this movie, they'll probably enjoy it for the most part, right? But this isn't something that your average moviegoer is not going to want to care to see Godzilla fight King Kong. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I'd recommend, though. I like it. It knows what it is. Definitely completely different pace, completely different theme opposed to that 2014 Godzilla. Much more similar to the King of Monsters. Between those two, what do I think is better? I don't know. That's tough. This movie's cool. I like this movie. I would pick this. I would say this though. I do think just after watching King of Monsters and then watching this one, I'll say that for spoilers. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with Blake on this one. I think I do enjoy this one a little bit more than King of Monsters, in the fact that I did actually see this movie twice in 2 days and found myself enjoying myself the second time more than I did, even though that was the second time for last week. That was the second time I've seen King of Monsters, and it was a year apart, and I had more fun at this movie seeing it back-to-back days basically than I did on both of those a year apart from each other. So I think the action itself in this I thought was actually kind of interesting. I thought Kong did a lot more than I was kind of expecting him to. There's one point where he like Superman punches off of like a building, and I was like, well, that's interesting. That's something. At least we get so close. We get so close to my dream in this, guys. Which we'll talk about more in spoilers, but man, we were right there. I think I think some of the characters have a little bit better chemistry with one another in these ones. I think certain actors have better performances overall in this one than I think in King of Monsters. I think as a movie, again, Godzilla 2014 is better than both of these in my opinion. But I had a good time with this. I genuinely did. I enjoyed myself more than I thought I was going to. I think going into it, I was a little bit more going in with really low expectations, but overall I was pretty impressed with this. I liked the runtime, actually. I thought it was kind of the right runtime for me.
Yeah, it was good.
Adam, did you watch it on HBO Max?
No, I went to the theater.
Okay.
And honestly, I wish I watched it on HBO Max because the theater kind of sucked.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it wasn't really worth going for me. I wish if it was like an AMC or if I could see it in Dolby, then I definitely would have gone. But I hadn't been in this theater before, but it was the only one opened up. I usually go to the Regal that's by me, but the Regal hasn't reopened yet. They're not reopening until May, so I had to go to this other one, and it just wasn't very good. And I honestly just wish I would have watched it on HBO Max and saved some money. But
yeah, I saw this in both.
It still is what it is.
Tyler and I saw this in Dolby, and then I saw this in IMAX.
Oh, okay.
Good both times. Blake, where did you watch this?
I could not get to a theater.
Okay.
I couldn't get 4 other gentlemen to watch it with me on vacation. And then, so that kind of made sense. So I ended up catching it Sunday when I got home.
Okay.
I just caught it on HBO Max.
So
a little bit different viewing.
Yeah.
Opposed to what I'd like, especially for like a big blockbuster popcorn monster flick, whatever you want to call it.
Of course, yeah.
But we'll make it work.
Hey, makes sense. That's cool though. We got a good spread, so that'll be that'll be interesting.
All right. Recommends. I think I said, man, if it had to be yes or no, then I would say yes. And it sounds like you guys are all yeses.
I'm a yes, Tyler.
Yep.
You know what you're getting into with this. If you think you're going to like it, you're going to like it. If you think you're not going to like it, you're not going to like it.
Spot on, dude.
All right. Well, we're going to head into the spoiler segment here. If you don't want Godzilla vs. Kong spoiled for you, go ahead and check the episode description where I will put the timestamp to skip to where we rank it up upon the entropy list. Spoilers.
Shit goes down. Let me play the spoiler sound. Shit goes down. And
with big monsters.
We get so close. Godzilla's so close to riding King Kong, man.
Hey, dude. So I was watching it. So funny enough. There's a scene where Kong is on the back of Mechagodzilla.
Yes, I know.
And I was like, that's as close as we're gonna get.
Yeah, but Mechagodzilla is so much bigger than Godzilla.
I know. I did not. All right, so confession time.
I was not expecting that.
Confession time early on. I did not like the design of Mechagodzilla.
No.
I think it definitely could have been better.
I just like, man,
could have been way cooler.
Yeah.
Like I like how big he was. I thought that was cool, but like, man, I liked the sacrifice pit, but like the weird like big arms, claw things, like I did not enjoy that.
They should have made him look closer to the body style of Godzilla.
Well, I think they went too far to try and
robotic.
be it like the new style. I think they should have kept it the older style.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm talking more like just his like the length of his arms, his
Sure,
his
okay,
neck,
yeah,
the
yeah.
ratios.
Yeah.
But
I
just
see what you're
bigger.
saying.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on like my little keychain.
Yes.
How it's again more like plate armor versus like all the spiky shit.
Yeah. I just like I didn't enjoy that design.
I agree.
Cool that he was in it though. We got Mechagodzilla finally.
We did. Fuck yeah.
What else was I gonna say?
Let me ask you guys this then. And this is what I wanted to say before we kind of got spoilers. Just kind of watching this. I thought Ghidorah was more of a menacing presence than, like, you know what I mean? I think that Ghidorah would have gave that
Mechagodzilla
fits.
Yeah. You almost, and like I was really noticing it with this film, but you almost have to look at each one of these films as like taking place in their own continuity.
They have to, dude. Godzilla looks so much smaller in this movie.
Oh my God! And like, we just never addressed that. Like, Boston is leveled. Like, so many people are dead. Like, and everyone's just like, "Yep, business as usual."
I know. It's like these are entire cities being destroyed. This is like 9/11 times 1,000.
Oh, like they changed the weather.
Like
Ghidorah was creating storms and shit, and everyone's just like,
literally.
Ghidorah's an alien.
Yeah, 100%.
And two, you have to kind of think that like it's not Mechagodzilla that's the menacing problem here. It's us. It's humans.
Yeah, no, this
humans
movie
created Mechagodzilla.
This movie has the whole purpose of Mechagodzilla in this movie is just so that Godzilla and King Kong don't have to fight anymore. Like that's the point.
Yeah, so they can team up.
Yeah. And I mean the writing's on the wall with that, but I think this film knows that. I think it understands that like that's where this is going. That's kind of where it had to go. And that's where it went. But I think Godzilla kind of gets a raw deal for most of this movie, to be honest with you.
To an extent. I think it shows his the lighter side of him. He shows mercy with Godzilla.
You mean Kong?
I mean King Kong, yeah. And, you know, on the back half of that, King Kong is like, yo, dude, I don't want to play any games, you know? Like, I know you beat me for now. It almost kind of feels like there's a for now there.
Godzilla fucked him up.
But yeah, I mean, like, he totally won that fight.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Good.
And he should have won. He should have won in the water.
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, that was a huge plot issue for me, actually, because they're like, what can we use to distract Godzilla? They're like, depth charges. That'll do the same thing to King Kong.
Right?
Yeah,
he's immune.
King Kong as well.
Right? Like,
if anything, it would affect King Kong more because he's already like basically unconscious.
Yeah, that was a big point where I was just like, oof, that was a rough one.
Danger close.
Yeah, there was a couple of those.
Unless the depth charges created some bubble of oxygen and they rebirthed.
Well, that's the thing.
And then simultaneously shoved him up to the surface.
Well, like we learned in the last movie that we have sonic technology that can affect these monsters. So how do you not just say, "Oh, we've tuned these to drive off Godzilla," and just throw those in there or something like that using
mini
ones, using the Orca
signal.
systems. Yeah, like they're so easy to write your way around that. Which is again, like I feel like each of these movies take place in their own continuity in a lot of ways.
Yeah. You think Mom's in prison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just never addressed. Kyle Chandler doesn't need to be in this movie.
No, not at all.
There's so many characters in this movie that don't need to be there.
They could have just showed her like on her own, independent. And
Lance Reddick. He doesn't need to be in there. He's one of the Monarch guys. I mean, I love every time he shows up and stuff because he's awesome. But
I love Lance Reddick.
Yeah, John Wick, the concierge in John Wick. If you don't know who we're talking about,
I just started playing Destiny 2 again, and he's in Destiny.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah, he's
got a fantastic voice.
I forget who he is,
but the guy at the
Destiny, it's Zavala.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's the guy at the start that's like, you don't think the king can take care of himself? Yeah. He plays Lucius Fox on what's the young Batman, Gotham.
Okay.
He doesn't need to be in there. The daughter, Demian Bashir's daughter, Isa Gonzalez, great to look at. Awesome actress, doesn't need to be in this movie. Yeah. Like there's so many people in this movie that are just like there.
Yeah.
And just do stuff.
She dies.
Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah, as much as I love the Godzilla versus Kong bits of it, those could have been expanded. The whole like bottom Earth area for me just didn't really need to be in there for most of it, except to
the only other thing is 11. That's just who she is.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, 11.
No, she's 11.
Okay.
She's always stuck in like a 70s 80s film.
Sure. Okay.
She they got in the bus or the van of her friend's bus, and they're just on a road trip, and it's just like 70s music. Like she's just trapped in that realm forever.
Yeah, you're saying that like the Stranger Things vibes have just
100%. Yeah.
That was actually really funny. Yeah.
So like every time her character's in something, she just has to get in like a fucking cheap
it's a great point actually,
and just like have 70s music playing.
Yeah.
So
and that's funny because she's incredibly not even an adult.
Right.
So it just makes it even more fun.
But I mean, she's come out on record saying like she's a big fan of that era, which is why she really likes Stranger Things and being an actress in that.
Gotcha.
I get it, but like, expand a little bit. Maybe don't put that music in there.
Fault, though.
I don't know. That might be her input.
No, 100% not. She's 17.
Exactly.
No, I think it's much more likely that the studios are like, people aren't going to understand this unless we put the 70s music on it. But it's 11. Everyone understands it's 11. And that they're like, you know what we could do? We could get the Stranger Things crowd in, but we gotta make sure they're not uncomfortable. So we'll put Millie in there, but then we'll also put the synthesizer behind it.
Yep.
I don't think it's her. But
I don't know who Millie Bobby Brown's best friend is. Julian Dennison.
Yeah, he's from Hunt for the Wilder People.
Also Deadpool 2.
Yeah. Deadpool 2.
Yep.
Yeah. That's exactly what rang the bell in my head. Was Deadpool 2.
He's not gonna lie, I don't know why, but his character really bothered me.
Yeah.
He's poorly written.
He's very unique too as just an actor in general.
He just has a New Zealand accent the entirety of this film.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's funny because isn't he Taika Waititi did that other one he was in, didn't he?
Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and isn't he New Zealand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah, he's even in Deadpool 2. He had just such a unique quality that he brought to characters.
Sure.
And I think some is just like his awkwardness and kind of how he's always in situations he doesn't want to be in.
He's a Maori Jonah Hill.
Yeah, there you go.
If he is Maori, I'm sorry. I don't know Julian, but he's a Kiwi Jonah Hill. And we'll go with that.
But yeah, I actually don't mind him. But he was very poorly written.
Yeah, he's a bad written character. His charisma saves that character for me.
100%.
Brian Tyree Henry, I think, is great in this. The podcast host, which I thought was funny when this movie started. It was just with the podcast. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Rebecca Hall, God, I wish she's really great. I wish she was given more things to do other than to just be the scientist who like goes too far and then regrets their choice. A la Iron Man 3 and this. I want her to be in more things. She's really
shout out Iron Man
really
3.
Cool. Yeah,
anytime
obviously.
I can shout it out. It's in the intro.
It's true. Our other patron saint of the podcast. No, I had a good time with this movie. Again, my kind of review of it is if you know exactly what you think it is going into it. If you're gonna like it, you're gonna like it. If you don't, you don't. The end.
Yeah. Favorite fight of the three?
Oh.
I like the one when Godzilla just fucks up
King Kong.
Yeah.
Where he gets the axe out of his hand and then he just goes to town on him. It's like he remembers that he had teeth.
He's relentless.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Loved
it goes
it.
from like tail to like body slam to like just crawling up his body.
I genuinely think they watched UFC fights before this movie.
That makes sense.
And because there's multiple times where I'm just like, oh, that's like I'm pretty sure he's like setting up an armbar there.
Yeah, that's. I think that's probably one of my favorite, if not the three of them, despite the creative differences I have with Mechagodzilla.
There's some cool shots in this.
I like the lighting a lot.
They had one shot where like the camera just does a 360. And they follow Kong into the water. I don't remember what it was. I think it was during the water scene, but they follow Kong into the water and then just keep the camera moving and refocus on Godzilla. They had some cool shots.
I know which one you're talking about. That was, I think, a pretty interesting, pretty cool stuff as well. I always like when they get to free the camera up.
The shot in the beginning with King Kong where he scratches his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I knew what type of movie this was going to be. Like 30 seconds in.
I genuinely, I think
they did that on purpose, though. I mean, they kind of are setting the vibe very early on.
I think Adam Wingard has kind of like a little like mean streak blackjack humor to him too, and I think that's part of it as well. I really like him as a director. He's got some other good stuff out there. Check out The Guest on Netflix or wherever it is streaming if you can. It's a good one.
I like how much Kong's intelligence plays into all this.
I did not. The
sign language, the ability to like use tools, find tools, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the language thing that throws me.
Yeah,
the fact that he's able to like consider himself, he has consciousness, which then just throws into question everything.
Yeah, like at that point, I feel like he should be able to beat Godzilla.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit world breaking for me, but whatever. We want to have the monkey talk. We can have the monkey talk. Like I'm fine with that in this movie.
No.
Yeah, that's half of what I expected. Genuinely, we thought we were going to get a Caesar moment. If the Rise of the Planet of the Apes movies had not come out within the last 10 years, Godzilla would have spoken, or King Kong would have spoken in this movie. Godzilla might have spoken too.
I was going to say, is that many Godzilla's going to talk to?
You might be onto something, man.
I really liked the how they're controlling Mechagodzilla with using the skull from King Ghidorah, and
that was dope.
Cool.
I like that they
which we talked about. That basically means that when it's just Mechagodzilla, that's Ghidorah's subconscious kind of taking over.
Yeah, it's the classic Transformers 4 situation where they keep trying to build Optimus Prime using the specs from Megatron, and it keeps getting turned into Megatron. They're like, I don't know why it's evil for some reason. What was the last thing I was going to say too? They download a power source. Or they upload a power source.
Yeah.
Insanity.
I mean, I guess they recreate it, but like, how do you know that you have the materials to recreate it?
I guess the implication is that they were trying to match a frequency that would give power to the Mechagodzilla on the right frequency.
Then why do you need to cut it out from a rock?
We're not gonna talk about it.
Frequencies of rocks.
It's just magic.
Join us next week.
It's just magic. But yeah, overall fun for me. I can definitely see how other people would not enjoy it. Do you think they made Kong's eyes bigger between movies? I feel like his eyes are larger.
I don't know if it's maybe like throughout movies, but like as the movie progresses, you can see him getting like sadder. So like maybe that's why.
He has a conscience. I think that's why he's sad.
Blake brought it up a little bit earlier, but like I just feel like the designs felt a little bit more stylized in this one. I'll say, rather than kind of the last two. Definitely different than Godzilla 2014. Like I genuinely think he looks different. He's shot differently. He's lit differently.
I think a lot of it's because that you like from 2014 till now, Godzilla is just more of like a menace. In like 2014, like you're just kind of introduced to him, so you only get like the foot clips and like the glance of the face. Whereas like this, you're getting a full blown look at his face in the light, right?
Yeah. It's just so much scarier.
But he just looks, man. In that 2014 one, it's crazy watching them back to back or within the same few days.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks.
It's probably like Man of Steel to Snyder Cut.
Very
similar break.
Similar, where it almost doesn't even look like it's the same
universe.
Godzilla. It can't be. But it's cool. I like it. Fight scenes are dope. We did, or who picked the Godzilla with me? I think it was me and.
Oh, me. I was always behind Godzilla.
Okay, so it was me and Nathaniel. What did you choose, Adam?
I don't remember. I think we all kind of decided Godzilla was probably the better one.
I remember saying at the beginning it was like Khan had a fighting chance if the axe was indeed going to be used against him, and then at the end of the day, it's always been Zilla.
I mean, Godzilla can shoot a freaking laser beam out of his mouth.
He's got freaking laser beams on their freaking heads.
Freaking laser beam.
But I mean, Mechagodzilla was going crazy though for a minute, man.
Yeah, I liked the jets on the backside of him that like they were kind of using.
They propel him to like punch him.
Turn. Yeah, he could cut an angle.
Punches.
Yeah, I like.
It's very Iron Man-y when he decides to use the boosters to force himself into faster movements
to fight Captain America.
Yeah, he's a giant piece of armor, so of course course he's gonna move slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely right. But yeah, he still just didn't seem as menacing to me. I mean, I think Ghidorah would have beat that Mechagodzilla.
I think it's the weight. The weight seems off in some of the shows. Like they move too quickly.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. I didn't think of it that way, but I think you're onto something as well. Especially with watching 2014 and then King of Monsters last week. I mean, yeah, there's just so much mass that they can't be fast.
Right. And like I think of like the Rodan bit where like he's like the size of Rodan creates wind shears that lift people up off the ground. Yep. Yeah. And then Godzilla and Kong are just brawling like it's UFC 200.
Throwing hooks.
Yeah.
Just
and just like
everywhere.
no one's and just buildings are falling down. There's 4 people in Hong Kong apparently and none
Only
of them
4.
around.
Yeah. All the office buildings are empty. There's nobody in
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they make a big point to show those.
Evacuated.
Sure. Watch Shin Godzilla, folks. Yeah. I'm pretty much out of thoughts. Anyone else got anything on here?
I don't think so.
Blake, you're our big Godzilla head. We haven't even talked about.
Yeah, no, I don't have any additional takeaways. Like anybody who's going into this, they probably 9 out of 10 times they know what to expect. You'll probably like it. If you're not in that majority, this film there's just no way this film is for you. Doesn't mean it's a bad film though.
Yeah, you will know. You know before watching this if you're gonna like it or not.
Yeah,
watch the trailer.
Yeah, sure, that too. All right, I think that's it for spoilers.
You want to throw it up on the Hupapon?
What?
We're throwing it up Hupapon.
Aren't those the same things?
No, I'm just trading out the word entropy list now. I'm just gonna call it the Hupapon.
Interesting. Welcome back, listeners who skipped over the spoiler segment of the pod. We're gonna rank Godzilla vs. Kong Hupapon, the entropy list. For those of you who do not know, the entropy list is Back Row Banter's official list of every movie we have reviewed, regardless of genre, regardless of anything else, all in one fantastic list. If you'd like to reference the entropy list for yourself, you can do so by checking the episode description where it is linked to my Letterboxd.
Where you got this, boys?
Man.
I have it above King of Monsters, and that's about it.
Let me pull up Letterboxd real quick.
I mean, that's the question. Is it better or worse than King of Monsters? I think this one, I had more fun with it, but it's a toss-up for me, 50-50 in a lot of ways.
I really like King of Monsters compared to not necessarily compared to this one because I do like this one too, but I do think King of Monsters had a lot of fun stuff. I like the variety in the monsters. I like the action scenes. Okay. There's a lot. I felt like there's a lot more action in that one just because there are more monsters and you see them more.
Okay.
Whereas in this one, there seemed to be a lot of in between with the human plot, which I just don't care about because that's not what I'm seeing.
That's
these
so
movies
funny.
For.
I felt like the opposite, man. I
But
felt
we're
like
part of the problem.
Really?
I felt like the action in this moved quicker for me, and the human parts did not. But
okay,
or the vice versa. What you said. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I found myself getting bogged down in King of Monsters, but again, that might have been because I've seen it before too, and it has been a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've got this at 32, bumping Godzilla King of Monsters down to 33. But that's where I'm at on that one. Adam,
okay,
where have you
I've got the entropy list up. I'd agree with that because I'm not putting it above Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, not putting it above Blind Spotting, and I would have to be mentally inept to put it above The Descent.
Adam, where have you got it for yours? Because I think you're going to be the dissenting vote here in some ways.
I mean, I'm not putting it above Ma Rainey's, that's for sure.
Sure.
I would put it probably at 33, right below King of Monsters. I do like it more than Trick or Treat.
Interesting.
So,
Tyler?
Yeah, I said it earlier. This beats King of Monsters for me. I think I like the 2014 one better than both of them.
Yeah, I do too.
But
I would have to rewatch it. I don't think I've seen 2014 since I saw it in theaters.
It's great. Yeah, I think I think I like this one better than Godzilla vs. King of Monsters. So I'm gonna have to go 32, and that'll bump that down to 33.
So, but below Ma Rainey's.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's the consensus.
Well, yeah, I was just saying it's kind of 3-1, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's it's not too far off from where I had it, so
yeah.
I can't be too mad. All right, yeah, 32, Godzilla vs. Kong, right below Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and right above its predecessor, Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Boom.
Bam. Bop.
Tyler, did you think of a comedy you would rather watch next week?
I have not had time.
All right.
I've been really busy.
We gave you the time limit. You knew what you were getting into, son.
All right, well then I guess we're just going to go with Forgetting Sarah Marshall as our next movie review. We kind of wanted to, it was Blake's idea. He suggested a comedy since we haven't done one in a minute. And we only got like 2 or 3 comedies on the Entropy list. So we're going to go ahead and give Forgetting Sarah Marshall a watch. Where is that streaming? I probably should look that up.
Oh, yeah, we never really addressed that, did that? We just kind of decided we were going to watch that.
We had a ton of options, and we decided on one. We should probably see where something is streaming.
It is on Prime. It just got added not too long ago.
Cool. Yeah, no, for sure.
The only other thing I could potentially recommend
boy,
is Fast and the Furious.
I've actually been thinking about going on like a deep dive of that too, revisiting that.
You want to do the first one, bro?
I think we should wait until F9 is closer.
Okay.
That's fair.
But
we are going to have another week in there too because Mortal Kombat's getting kicked back, right?
Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do that then. Let's do Forgetting Sarah Marshall now, and then let's do. Do you want to do the first? Excuse me. Fast and Furious,
the first
Tyler?
one. Yeah.
Yeah. We can do that next week if y'all want to.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool.
We can talk about it.
Cool.
We'll figure it out.
Lock it in.
All right. Well, listeners, all you need to know is Forgetting Sarah Marshall will be our next review.
Great movie.
I'm gonna call from one Papa Schwartz. Do you want me to put him on speaker?
Ooh.
Run it. I don't know how good it'll come through, but run it.
Dave Schwartz, you're live on Back Row Banter.
How are you?
I'm good. You're talking to the boys. They can't hear, or they can hear you, but you can't hear them.
Hi, Papa Schwartz.
Really? I want to drink your pod. I just wanted to call because Baylor just won, my friend.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Oh, wow. Well, there goes my bet.
Yeah.
Tough.
We just finished our review of Godzilla versus Kong. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts, it was okay. You know what? It's one of those movies that's, only really going to be good if you see it in IMAX, which is what I did.
Okay.
Hey, maybe we're at the same showing.
Like if you go on IMDb, it's a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 6.
A 6.
I think that's exactly what it's at on IMDb.
House Works gets better and better every time.
He's making a play for the top fan, isn't he?
Is that high compared to everybody else?
No, they're all agreeing with you. They think that's probably right around where it should be.
Yeah.
I think Adam might be out.
I'll give you a call back a little bit.
Go Baylor Bears.
All right, bye. Wow, what a fun.
There we are.
Yeah.
That actually came through fairly well.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm actually very curious as to how it'll come through for a mixer now if we just like Bluetooth someone in.
Not as good as that.
Or if we just auxiliary it in.
Yeah, we'll see.
Interesting.
All right. Listeners, I needed Gonzaga to win both of my groups, and they just lost, so that sucks.
R.I.P.
Oh well, I still had actually a pretty good bracket considering how many upsets and stuff there were this year.
Ripperoonie.
Not too mad about it. All right, I'm assuming Nathaniel 5-star review.
I haven't checked, but even if there is one, let's keep it for next pod.
Sure. All right. Well, please share the podcast. Share with a friend.
Give us a 5-star review. I'll read it out on the podcast. or you can decide your nicknames now. Apparently,
give us nicknames. Tell us who you want to read it. You can do literally whatever you want in a 5-star review, and we're gonna probably help you carry out that
your dreams.
Fantasy.
Yeah, but it's just got to be 5 stars.
I can be your hero, baby.
Boom.
We're gonna get copyright strike. God damn it, Ty.
It was less than 5 seconds.
Yeah, he said hero as in like GYRO.
Yeah, like gyro.
Hero, baby. All right. Yeah, share the pod. Share with a family member, a friend, maybe a friendly monster or not so friendly monster.
If you have to upload anything, instead of a power source, upload our podcast.
Yeah.
Download.
Nope, upload it.
We're uploading it
Out to a group, to a cell tower, to be downloaded. I want this like an Amber Alert. I want everyone to get it, like the U2 podcast or the U2 album. I want everyone to wake up with our podcast on their phone. If you can do that for us.
I hate that. I hate.
You remember that? Yeah, what a
So
time
funny.
where YouTube
So
just
good.
automatically came. Like it was the first thing that played.
What a
anytime you turned the
pretentious
music on.
bunch of douchebags.
It's so
Why the
good.
fuck
Yeah.
would I want their album?
It's incredible. What
How
an
did they even
awesome
get away with that?
Apple. I'm sure we all signed up for it when we just
Yeah.
Apple, yeah.
clicked through the license.
They had to pay a shit ton of money to get that
oh my
off, dude.
gosh, millions of dollars.
and you can't get it off.
You can now, thank God. That was on there for at least a year.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I had
dude,
one
for
of
sure.
the limited edition black and red iPods.
Ooh, oh, the red.
classics. Yeah.
The parentheses red.
It was like the U2 edition.
yeah.
You can't get it off that.
Yeah. All right, Adam,
All right.
where can you find us?
Yeah, you can find us on Twitter at Banter Row, on Instagram at Back Row Banter Pod, on YouTube just Back Row Banter, and our email for any questions, comments, concerns, grievances, or anything of the sort. You can reach us at backrowbanterpod@gmail.com. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. We want more subscribers there. It's free, even if you don't listen there. You can still go subscribe to us, and we'd really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll do video one day. I think we'd all like to, if it's down the pipeline.
Yeah, if you subscribe enough people to YouTube, then we can. So just do that.
Possible.
Yeah, there you go. Give us some incentive to do video. And then you can see our gorgeous faces, especially Blake's. As you
Obviously,
talk.
Blake's.
Man, that face.
I'm smiling right now.
I'm
Can't see it.
his camera's off today because of his internet. So, Blake, where can the people find you at, my man?
Letterboxd. BlakeHolder. I'll be on there logging some stuff. I say this all the time. I am very bad at that, but I'm trying to progress and get better. So I'll be on there, and then every once in a while I'll put a review down, usually for a movie that I hold near and dear to my heart. But my Letterboxd will be BlakeHolder. All my other things are Mr. Water Coolers, PlayStation, Xbox, tagged on the Back Row Banter Instagram page, and I will go ahead and pass it off to. We'll go to Nathaniel today. Usually I go to Ty.
Ooh, I feel special. Skr. Oh, yeah. I was looking for the word compliment, but I could only think of the word insult. And so I was like, those are antonyms. Anyways, you can find me at Back Row Banter Pod on Instagram. I run that occasionally, but we're trying to be better with it. You can find me on Letterboxd at @NSGingrich and Twitter at the same handle. You can find me personally on Instagram at NathanielG92. You can check out my other podcast, Sandpiper Tapes, on wherever you can find your podcasts. We had a guy stop in at work today, Chris Yates of, I think it was, Spark Up a Conversation, also starting his podcast soon, so he might be listening to us right now. I told him I'd give him a shout out, so thank you.
What up,
if
dude?
you are,
Shout out.
come talk to us. And pass it off to Tyler.
Hey, what's going on? It's me. It's Tyler. Can you do me a favor right now? Take a quick second. If you're listening to this,
Yep.
share it.
That's you, listener. Yeah.
Share it, or go to YouTube. Hit the sub button. It's just a real quick, easy favor. Doesn't cost you anything.
It's true.
Helps us out.
It's
Not a dime.
Much appreciated. But yeah, anyways, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. And we always appreciate you sharing and, kind of promoting us, and we can grow and, better content for you guys. But you can find me on Twitch sometimes. Hopefully, I think we're going to try and get some streaming tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be the day of
Do you
release
do it on stream?
for
Yeah,
listeners.
yeah. So it's gonna be a fun-filled day for Nathaniel and I. Hopefully, we're doing the 3 Gs. Hopefully, we're gonna do gym, golf, game.
Godzilla 4th G.
So yeah, if you wanna watch us on there, go ahead and hit the follow button on that. That's Ultra Bajo 87, twitch.tv. That's ELTRABAJO 87. And then Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitter all Tyler Vidales, VIDALES. Adam, what's good?
Take us home, baby.
I just want to mirror everything Tyler said. Please do share the pod. we would really appreciate it. We're trying to grow as much as possible. We really love doing this, and we'd like to keep doing it. So please share and sub on YouTube.
Please.
But you can also follow me on Twitter at H24, on Letterboxd at H, and on Twitch, twitch.tv/H. That's it for episode 46, guys.
In the can.
In
46, pushing 50, man. We're pushing the 50.
pushing
Getting there.
50.
Let's go.
We gotta, okay. Should we do some kind of celebration for 50? We should do some kind of special episode.
It's either 50 or year anniversary. We got to do something.
Maybe we'll do like
both.
like an inebriated one, and then Adam's got to drink juice, obviously.
Yep.
Well, I turned 21 in July, which would be, I turned 21 like a week after our 1 year.
I was gonna say that's gonna be super close to
There we
1 year.
go.
All right.
Yeah, so maybe we'll just delay.
Yeah, maybe
our
we'll
1
just do an
year.
inebriated one for Adam's birthday then.
A buzzed,
Yeah.
a
There we go.
buzzed podcast.
No, I want like a full blown hammered.
Here's my thoughts.
Man.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us for episode 46. We'll see you guys next week for our review of Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Boom.
We'll BRB.
Hey, be excellent to each other, everyone. I do mean that. Think about what I say. When I say it, do your best. Do beyond that. Be excellent to one another. And we'll BRB.
Again, just to repeat what I said earlier, appreciate you guys, stop by listening. We really like to grow. We really appreciate any help that you can give. There were talks potentially of merch happening sometime soon. So
We got a
if that's
We got a
something you're
lead, yeah.
interested in, please let us know via email, Twitter, any other way that you can get a hold of us. That way you can get a little pre-order in if we do decide to do something. Also, hope you guys had a great Easter with your family. Family's obviously very important, especially in these times. So yeah, just love everybody, and appreciate anything that you guys can do for us. And we'll BRB.
Yeah, same here as always. Spread peace, love, positivity. You never know what someone's going through, and you never know where someone's at in their journey. Life's too short, so try to take advantage of every day. And one thing I kind of took in recently was as long as you're doing at least one thing you love every day, you're good to go.
Facts.
So that's my 2 cents, and we'll BRB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
What? No, that's the theme song.
That's the emergency stop button.
Yeah.
Adam's not even here.
Don't worry, listeners. We're kicking this off early without Adam. Just let this play on out. Let it run, Ollie.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I hope you have a good week.
That's it for the podcast. Be excellent to each other. I do mean that. What if we just started adopting accents halfway through?
That'd be hilarious. New accent every week. New accent every week.
No, mine's just consistently just a random Southern accent.
I don't want mine to be just some rowdy shit.
Just something weird.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, yeah, it's the accent in Papua New Guinea.